Hi everyone, I'm Liat from Momjo, and recently I finished a 21-day trial of being vegan. I know some of you are probably rolling your eyes and thinking, oh, veganism, it's probably just a trend, or that's absolutely impossible. How do I possibly live without meat and chicken and fish and eggs and cheese and milk and basically everything? I'm sure some of you are thinking, oh wow, that sounds really cool. Like you've been thinking about it for a while, but you're not quite sure if you really want to do it, if you really would enjoy that lifestyle, and how it would affect you. So I thought I would share my experience and give some insight into what it takes to go vegan for 21 days. First, I'll start off with why I decided to do this. And I guess it came from this absolute need to make a drastic change. Whatever I was doing just like mentally wasn't working. I would wake up on a Monday morning and I would be like, right, this is the day, I'm ready, I'm psyched, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna be healthy. And by lunchtime, I was like eating whatever I could find, literally. I had this gap of time of about 3 weeks before a specific event was gonna take place. So I thought to myself, okay, 21 days is totally doable. And why veganism? Okay, so I was a vegetarian before this whole thing happened. I wasn't eating chicken, I wasn't eating meat. So I guess this whole vegan thing wasn't scaring me as much as the next person who's a real carnivore. So I thought I could swap regular milk for almond milk, which I actually quite like, so that wasn't a big deal. I would have to stop eating cheese, that was pretty difficult, and I would have to stop eating eggs and fish, which were pretty much a staple in my diet. The way I was feeling was like a big pelican. You know those birds with the big beak that's like when it's open, it's the most massive beak ever? That was me, except that my beak never closed. I would literally put anything and everything in my mouth and I could not stop. So what I figured with this is that maybe it would give me some focus and maybe make me think about what I'm putting into this beak of mine. I was really craving a real change, something that would make me feel the change, and not only in weight. I'm talking about like physically in every way. So I noticed that my skin and my face was looking, I don't even know how to explain it, because I'd look at myself in photos and I would just see something that didn't look quite right. And my skin wasn't clear and like fresh and amazing. And I thought, well, do I need to go for facials? Do I need to change my routine with like my cleanser and my moisturizer? But actually, I was thinking maybe it's just what I'm ingesting, what I'm eating. So from a health perspective, from a skin perspective, maybe from an energy perspective, and obviously from a weight perspective, I mean, of course, that would be nice to drop a few pounds. I thought, let's give this vegan thing a real chance and see if it made a difference. So I assumed that in the 21 days, I would see a marked difference in feeling amazing, lots of energy. My skin would clear up, I was gonna feel fantastic, and I was gonna drop a lot of weight. The truth is this, I was starving. I was literally hungry all the time. And that is something that I'm not really used to feeling. Actually, I really liked it because it meant that whatever I was eating was actually being used by my body in the right way and quickly, so I was craving another meal. The only thing is that I had to constantly have the right foods on hand. Now that's something about being vegan that is definitely more difficult than eating regularly. You have to prepare your food in advance. You have to prepare, you have to shop, you have to cook, and you have to be inspired. Now one thing I will say is that I do love to cook, and of course I love to eat, and I love to be in the kitchen. But I had kind of lost my eating, cooking momjo, if I could say it like that. I'd kind of lost that mojo for cooking in the kitchen. But this 21 days of vegan took me straight back into that kitchen, and it got me excited. Truthfully, I was Googling and looking up awesome vegan recipes and actually making them. I would only choose the really easy ones because some of them can get complicated. And I had to buy a bunch of new kinds of foods, like different flours, like spelt flour and chickpea flour and flaxseed and all kinds of things like that. But once I had it in my home, it was really no big deal. Okay, so back to feeling hungry. I really was hungry a lot. I felt tired, to be really honest. I actually felt like sick and nauseous, even to the point that it actually made me think I was possibly even pregnant, which is impossible, but it's that kind of feeling. So it really just forced me to focus on what I was eating and make sure that I was eating consistently throughout the day. I definitely felt like I was eating more, but I had to do it. I was literally hungry all the time. These are the two things that I really loved about doing the 21 days while I was doing it. Number one, I really loved actually feeling hungry. I really loved the fact that my body was telling me that I was ready for food. And constantly, whereas before, I don't really remember waiting to feel hungry to actually pop something in my mouth. The other thing that I really loved about it was the 100% focus and conscious eating about every single thing that I was putting into my body. It made me stop and think about each thing that I was choosing to put as an ingredient in my food, or even have as a snack. What I really loved about these 21 days of being vegan was my absolute focus and conscious, mindful eating. I don't remember the last time, if at all, I ever did that on such a consistent, ongoing basis. Like the thought of even just a small piece of chocolate was a non-issue. I had flipped that switch and absolutely nothing was going in that wasn't mostly plant-based, absolutely vegan, and super, super healthy. I chose to stay away from junk food because a lot of people that go vegan tend to end up eating a lot of chips and, like, I would say fried foods and things like that because they can. But I really made a conscious decision to think about every single thing that I was eating and making sure that it was wholesome, mostly plant-based, and really, really healthy. I tried all different kinds of recipes. I mean, I remember one night I was really craving something sweet and delicious, like a brownie or a cookie, because that's my thing. I love cookies and milk. So I Googled healthy vegan brownie and came up with an avocado brownie recipe and a black bean brownie recipe. And so, of course, I whipped both of those batches up because I had to. And the avocado brownie was seriously delicious. So much so that my husband even ate as much as I did. So I would have my brownie and my milk. In terms of those sweet treats, I really made a concerted effort to find ways to get around this vegan thing and have like wholesome but delicious sweet treats, because Lord knows mama needs that in her life, especially at 9 o'clock at night when she wants to chill. So I really indulged in some awesome cooking and some definite awesome eating. I made chickpea curries. I made lentil burgers. I made wraps with all kinds of things inside. I did eat a lot of tofu, probably more than I would have had before, but I honestly did not feel like I was craving anything very specific from my old way of eating, because I guess I really made an effort to fill my diet in those 21 days with delicious, wholesome, yummy things. So, the verdict. What will happen after the 21 days? That's kind of what everybody was asking me. Now, what happens after the 21 days? Are you going to stay vegan? Or am I going to go back to my old ways of basically eating anything and everything? So I'm going to say this. The things that I noticed are that my skin really did clear up. I definitely got over that hump of feeling hungry all the time. I guess my body adjusted. I definitely had the sense of feeling lighter and cleaner and less bloated. Now that I've got a bit more of a handle on the things that I like, and I made a list of all the meals that I really enjoy making and eating, I will say that I'm gonna stick to a pretty much of a 90-10 rule. I think that 90% of the time I'm gonna stick to this plant-based, mostly vegan eating. And then 10% of the time, I think I will indulge if I want to. But in things like eggs for breakfast, because I did miss that. Maybe a piece of fish once in a while. I definitely want to continue feeling like this. I definitely want to continue feeling healthy, inspired to cook and make in the kitchen, feeling conscious about what I'm eating, and definitely mindful. So I would say that it was a success, and I hope to continue doing it most of the time and feeling like this all of the time. So for those of you who are thinking about making a change, doing some kind of a cleanse, boosting your body and feeling good, I would say why not give veganism a chance? Maybe just for 21 days.